Okay, so on the train going up to Brasov in the mountains. It's really good. It's God's country up here. It's absolutely beautiful. This is just at the start of the pass, I suppose you will, going up into the mountains, and right at the entrance and the passage. So the trains here are pretty good. There's one of the what they call IR or interregional. Yeah, they're decent. They don't look the best from the outside because they don't bother to clean. They so many runs. Why clean them to get dirty again, which is right. So, but inside, perfectly acceptable. Inside, really nice and clean and comfortable. I'd say. It's one of the local stops. Okay, so this is Sinaia station. It's right on the gateway up to the mountains. Very popular for ski resort as well. There's some ski lifts going up to the mountains, but this is one of only a couple of royal stations in Romania, classed as a royal station for the royal family. It's been that way for a long time, and it's also the home of the royal castle, the old Castle Peleș. Yeah, beautiful little town. I was here not long ago. Stayed for a couple of nights, went up to the snow. But yeah, it's a kind of place, like I said, if you've got a bit of spare money, you come and buy a house, and I'm really seriously thinking about trying to grab an apartment here at some stage. Like I said, it's right on the gateway going up to the mountains, and the place I'm getting off at is called Brasov, which is probably the most popular gateway to the ski resorts in Romania. But yeah, this place is just it's absolutely stunning. The mountains up there, and beautiful crisp fresh air. You can see the snow-capped hills up the top, and actually pretty well priced around here, surprisingly cheap. About 80,000 euro, 60,000 euro. You can still pick up a 2-bedroom house, one of these little cottage type, which would do me fine. Can't quite see them in the fog, but the pine trees, and there's these massive big rocks up, mountains up there, that absolutely spectacular, but a bit hard to see in the fog. Yeah, like I said, this place is just the pine trees, the mountains, the air, it's just outstanding. I'd happily, it's only about maybe an hour and a half from Bucharest by train, which is not far to commute, and most of the stuff these days you do at home, work from home anyway, so like I said, all these beautiful little towns along the way, up in the mountains. It's still sort of not quite right up. This is still getting up into the mountain area. There's another town after this called Predeal, which we'll get to soon, and Predeal is again, it's a very popular sort of stop. Not hugely popular, but look at that. But it's it's a ski resort nonetheless, slightly smaller slopes. But yeah, spectacular little area again. Okay, so here we're getting close to pulling into a little town called Predeal. Predeal again is up in the mountains. It's not one of the big ski resorts, but it does have some ski runs on the mountains, sort of behind the direction we're heading, up to the right. But yeah, beautiful little town, crisp fresh air, and not as busy as the other snow resorts at this time of year. So I came here last year for a couple of nights, stayed in this really nice little old motel. But yeah, it's a really picturesque little town, not that big, but yeah, up behind me to the right, it's the snow runs are up behind me, up to the right, direction we're going. But yeah, it's got a really couple of pretty little churches here. There's one over there just behind the station you can see. Yeah, and it's been a strange winter too. It's mildish. Like there's a lot of snow around on the ground, but this is nothing compared to what you'd normally see at this time of year. It's normally, centimetres high and all over the mountains. But so yeah, but this is Predeal. Just while I was sitting here at Predeal, I thought, show you, these are actually fairly comfortable trains for what you pay, and like I said, the inside's always much better than what they look like outside, but very comfortable. Nice big chairs to relax in. And I only just worked out that that button on the side of the chair is actually electric recline and forward. But nice big. So yeah, it's still snowing outside. Don't know if you can see the snow, but maybe. There's a couple of trains in here. It's one of the busiest stations in Romania, this one, because it's the main ski resort town. But this is the old very old concrete block type station here. And yeah, it's freezing in here. It's just like cement and yeah, open to the elements. But anyway. Wow, very lucky. I nearly missed my train. There's all kinds of trains here. That's what I love. It's all different colours, different styles, mix of old, new. Like I said, this is one of the main stations at Brasov. But I was sitting outside in the cold on the platform, waiting for 1:15. And then this train was sitting here and sitting here. I thought, oh, it's getting a bit close. So I asked someone, they said, yeah, that's the one. Fuck. So I jumped on. Now I'm in nice and warm. Because outside at the moment, it's absolutely fucking freezing outside. See the snow still bucketing down. Yeah, but I've enjoyed my time here in Brasov for a few days. It's been a beautiful city and recommend anyone come here. So these are the interregional trains. I think I've said earlier before, they don't look much on the outside, but they're really actually very comfortable on the inside. This is first class wagon. Not that expensive, you know, but you get big seats and fairly decent. But yeah, like I said, I nearly missed it because I was sitting here waiting for another time, which came and went. But yeah, so look at that snow bucketing down. Beautiful. Said I really enjoy looking at all the different trains that come through that you have in Romania, because you got old, new, old communist style Soviet era. You got that old clunker thing over there with graffiti all over it. You got this yellow and green thing. You got a more modern look here. Then you got the one I'm on, which is just carriages drawn by a diesel. And yeah, I just happen to be standing above freezing outside, but now above this thing. This vent that's absolutely just spewing out hot air. So now I'm absolutely boiling. Anyway, all good. Okay, so pulling out of Brasov after a few days here. So the people coming in today to go up to the mountains and do a bit of skiing, etc., will be pretty happy, because it's absolutely bucketing down at the moment. Like, we had, first night I was here, we had good snowfall a couple of nights ago, and it covered everything, you know, and then it sort of melts a little bit, and all the machines come out to clear it, but it's absolutely fruitless exercise, because it's just completely bucketing down again, and everything's just covered, and it's white, it's beautiful, and I just don't get tired of the snow, you know. I could play in it all day, walk in it all day, love it. And luckily enough, I think, getting back to Bucharest, we're actually due for snow there tonight and tomorrow. So, happy days. So just another bit of footage heading out of Brasov. It's, you know, real wintry day now. Like, a bit of a delayed winter this year, but it's definitely kicking in now. Like I said, I love all these little engines running around too, different trains, locomotives. Brasov's a pretty big stop, you know, trains come in from all over the country through Brasov, and from internationally as well. So it takes a little bit of time to get going out of Brasov, a bit slow. But then we progressively start from here. You start climbing up into the mountains, into the two little ski resort towns of Predeal and Sinaia, which are absolutely outstanding, beautiful, God's country. So I'll take a bit of footage of that in a sec once we start climbing. So this is just heading out of Brasov before we start climbing up into the mountains. But wow, it's we're waiting for the snow to happen. It's definitely started now. It's all white, it's bucketing down, it's coming in sideways with the wind. It's everything. That's my little seating area to myself, which is good today. But yeah, wow, it's just, as much as I was saying I was starting to get over the snow, not over it, but used to it, where it's not a novelty so much anymore. I think I rephrase that and just say, no, it's when you get out in a day like this again, where it is actually just snowing and coming down, you know, fairly constantly, and everything is just white. You look at that and you just go, wow, how can you not love it and love being out in it? It's just amazing. This is the slow crawl up out of Brasov into the mountains, up higher, into the little ski resort towns of Sinaia and Predeal. But it's a really busy track, you know, this one, like a lot of trains, so, and they run pretty close together, so we're on the go slow, very go slow at the moment. But look at that. See the track curving up ahead, the train, it's got mountains on either side. This is the kind of snow we wish we'd had at Christmas, but anyway, it's better late than never. Look at that out there. Yeah, so it's absolutely bucketing down at the moment, and just absolutely outstanding, beautiful. Just makes you feel really homely and warm this time of year when you get look at that. I mean, absolutely beautiful. You got these cottages and inns all along here with, you know, the fire going, obviously the smoke coming out the top. You know, just nice and warm, cozy. All the houses covered, roofs in snow. So the train track here runs pretty close to one of the main highways that takes traffic into Bucharest and back. But look at the mountains up above. beautiful, covered in snow. Look at this. Now we go up through the start to go up the passage a little bit. That's just magical, magic. Never get tired of looking at this. You pay for a train ride like this about 20 Aussie dollars for a 3-hour train ride back to Bucharest. You'd pay bloody much more than that for these kind of views anywhere else in the world. Something about pine trees and snow that just go so well together, especially when they're natural pines. You know, they just, with that covering of snow over them, they just look so good. Well, here you go, Frankie, little video for you, mate. Still up at the Gold Coast, I assume sweating your ass off, and that might be your preference, but not for me anymore. Mate, for me it's this. I'm on the train back from the mountains, just going up, still climbing up to go over a pass to get back to Bucharest, but it's bucketing down snow at the moment. Everything, all the pine trees covered in white. Look at this, mate, that's just, you know. And then all the way along, man, you've got all these little villages just tucked away in the snow, like this one here. And they'll have their fires going, and you know, smoke coming out of the chimneys. Outstanding. So yeah, mate, I wouldn't swap this for the Gold Coast and freaking scorching sun any day, mate. But yeah, just a little vid just to send to you so you can see what it looks like here. Absolutely outstanding. Okay, so slowing down a bit now. I think we're coming into, I think this is Predeal. It's one of the slightly smaller ski resort towns, but not quite as busy. The ski slope's not quite as big and tall, but beautiful, beautiful little town. So that's the main town's over on the right hand side over here. Got a beautiful little church not far from the station building, over the road over there, because I've been here before. So yeah, so here you go, so Predeal station. It's really pretty. The main ski runs are just a little further up on this side, on the left hand side, up on the side of the mountain. Yeah, it looks like it's bucketing down snow here as well. That's the bottom end of one of the ski runs you can see just up there. Everyone's out enjoying it. You can see some guy on the bottom of the slope just up there. Like I said, they're not the hugest ski runs here, but that's the bottom of one of them. The ski lift's going up. Slightly smaller than the towns like Brasov and Brasov, which are absolutely packed with tourists from, not just domestic tourists from Bucharest and all over Romania, but internationally as well. So these lesser known ones are really nice. Like, people know them, but they're not as busy. But Predeal, Sinaia, wow, absolutely beautiful places to go to. And I just can't get over how big the snow is getting today. It's massive snow now. It's above, you can see it's above the train tracks. The train tracks actually below the level of the snow now. Another train going past the other way, containers. So yeah, beautiful. So yeah, it's really turning into big snow now. So the next town we should stop at will be Sinaia. It's a fairly busy one as well. Probably more busy than Predeal, which we just stopped at. So a few more people should get on, but well, you can see all the snow kicking back from the locomotive now, like the spray. Look at how deep that is along there now. A couple of driveways where the snow level's up to the height of the cars. Wow.